Hello and welcome to the Vayeitze edition of the short Vort from Shlishi to Revii. This week we will discuss the Pasuk Perek Chaf Tes Pasuk Chaf. It's talking about where Yaakov Avinu has arrived at Lavan's house and he wants to marry Rachel, and it says Vayu be'inav kayamim achadim ba'avasa osa, that he agrees to work for 7 years for Rachel Bitcha Tana. He doesn't trust Lava, and therefore he tries to be as specific as possible, even though that doesn't help him in the end. And he says that those 7 years, they went by really quickly, like a few days, because he loved her. Now that begs a question. Now normally when you love something and you're waiting for something, you're impatient and the days seem to go by very slowly. Yet here he loved Rachel, and he says that it was Yamim Achadim, that it went by very quickly. So Reb Eliyahu Lapian in Sefer Lev Eliyahu, he gives an example of someone who's sitting in a restaurant, and he says to the waiter who asks him what he wants, he says, "Well, I love fish. Can you get me fish?" So the patron B, who's sitting at the next table, so he's thinking, "Oh, this guy loves fish. He wants to have it in a nice little container and that you can see through, and you'll give it food and make it comfortable because he loves fish." Imagine his surprise then when the waiter comes out and has this dead fish, and the person, the original patron, he cuts it up in little pieces on his fork and he eats it, and the guy says to him, he says, "Wait, I thought you said you love fish." So obviously if he had loved fish in the literal sense, then in fact, yes, he would not kill it and he would take it home and take care of it. But it's not that he loves fish. What he loves is himself. That's what the first patron is enjoying, and that's what he's requesting when he says, "I love this fish." Now the world looks at the word love as this, this fuzzy and warm feeling that someone gets when they meet the right person or the right thing, and it's something that it feels good for yourself. But the Torah says that Ahava, love, is something not what you benefit from, what you want for yourself, that makes you feel good, but it's something that elevates you. It's something that makes you want to give. Hav, the root of Ahava, is to give. A successful couple is one where they want to give to each other, not that they're looking to take each other. So this can come back to Yaakov Avinu and explain that why he wasn't in such pain by the 7 years, because his Ahava was not the Ava that he wanted stuff for himself. It was a spiritual Ava that he had for Rachel. It's something that elevated it to him, something that someone who gave him an opportunity to do good. And those things, you didn't have to be married yet, and therefore it wasn't such a pain because he was in the giving mode and not in the taking. And when we find Ava, when we find love, whether it's the spouse or some other object, it should be something, whether it's Torah, something that should be something that elevates us and brings us to the highest level where we want to give, and it's not about us taking. Have a wonderful week, and thank you for listening.